Hello everyone. In this video lecture, we will discuss about multi-point cutting tool, different types of multi-point cutting tool, requirements of cutting tool, requirements of multi-point cutting tool, and the various differences between single point cutting tool and multi-point cutting tool. Now let's start. These are the some basic information about multi-point cutting tool, like the number of cutting edges varies from 2 commonly found in a drill bit to 4 commonly found in the milling cutter to 100 cutting edges like in grinding wheel, because we know that uh, that cutting tool has, if any cutting tool has uh, two or more than two cutting edges, then we known as multi-point cutting tool. It provides high material removal rate without failure, like higher feed rate, higher depth of cut. Cheap load is very slow. However, the usage of multi-point cutting tool can maybe result in fluctuation in cutting force, impact loading on each teeth, higher vibration effects. This is the picture of twist drill. Here, there are all parts, like it is known as flute, the growing parts, and the upper part is known as land. This is known as margin. This is chisel edge, and behind the chisel edge, it is known as core thickness. Here, it is known as lip. This is a type of multi-point cutting tool which has two cutting edges. Here is the overall parts of the twist drill, like it is shank diameter, shank length. We have seen that in single point cutting tool, uh, shank is one another part and the face is one another part. On the faces, there are many angle possesses on the face for the purpose of cutting. Uh, this is known as a rake or helix angle. This is flute we have discussed earlier. Lip relief angle. This is known as the tip of the drill bit. This is point angle, and this overall known as body length. Let's discuss one by one. Flutes. It is helical or straight grooves cut to provide cutting edge. They permit removal of chips and allow cutting fluid to reach cutting lips. Helix or rectangle. It improves the chip cutting ability if increased as positive rack angle. Lip relief angle. On larger diameter or harder material, this angle is decreased to as low as 8 degree. On a smaller diameter or softer material, angle can be increased up to 20 degree. It depends on that operator, means which type of material we are using. If we using harder material, then the leaf relief angle is as low as 8 degree, and if you using softer material, then the value of relief angle will be up to 20 degree. Point angle. Lower angle produce wide chips. Higher angle is recommended for hard material, whereas lower angle is for softer material. Like relief angle, in a point angle also, if we use a softer material, then the lower angle is necessary, and if we use harder material, then the higher angle is necessary as a point angle in drill twist. This is also a view of twist drill. This is known as cheese edge at the tip of the drill bit. This is body clearance, cutting edge, and this is known as hill. Chisel edge, it does not cut, it penetrate displacing the workpiece. It consumes 60 to 70% of the thrust force thrust force required, because it is the main point which is first and directly physical physical contact between the drill bit and the workpiece. Thus, here describe that it consumes 60 to 70% of the thrust force. The best tool geometry angle according to material, like workpiece material. Here we are using like aluminum, brass, cast iron, mild steel, stainless steel, or plastic. Like point angle vary from 90 to 135, helix angle 30 to 48, lip relief angle 12 to 26. These all the value of this angle in degree, like 90 degree to 135 degree. For brass, 90 to 118, helix 0 to 20, lip relief angle 12 to 26. For the cast iron, again 90 to 118 degree, helix angle 24 to 32, lip relief angle 70 to 20. For mild steel, it varies from point angle varies from 118 to 135, helix angle 24 to 32, lip relief angle 7 to 24. Now for the stainless steel, 118 to 135, helix angle is 24 to 32 degree, and the lip relief angle is 7 to 24 degree. For the plastics, it varies from 60 to 90, because we know that we use lower angle for point angle if we cut softer material. Helix angle will be 0 to 20 degree, and the lip relief angle is varies from 12 degree to 26 degree. This is overall tool geometry on the basis of workpiece material which you are using for cut or for machining process or for drilling process. This is the diagram of milling cutter. Here you can see that many cutting edges. These all are the cutting edges. These the hollow part or the undergone part is known as fillets. This is the relief angle. This is known as relief angle. This is clearance angle. This one is clearance angle is measured with the respect of fillets, and this is known as lip angle. Here are some description of angles, like a relief angle. It is to avoided interface the between the tooth and the work surface. Relief angle, it is a wide interface between the tool and the workpiece surface. Radial rack angle, it is provided free cutting by allowing chips to flow smoothly on the face of cutter. Now the another one is lip angle. It is between the face of teeth and the land of the teeth. Here is an example of pipe facing machine, like we using multi point cutting tool in the pipe facing machine. This is the differences between single point cutting tool and the multi point cutting tool. We have discussed in the previous chapter of about single point cutting tool, and in this video lecture we have discussed about multi point cutting tool. Now these are the basic differences. Like single point cutting tool, it is easy to design and fabrication, whereas multi point cutting tool is a small cheap load per tooth. Design consideration is more harder with compared to single point cutting tool in multi point cutting tool, because here cutting edges is two or more than two. Single point cutting tool is comparatively cheaper, uh, but multi point cutting tool is comparatively costly because of growing of various teeth, various cutting edges on multi point cutting tool. Single point cutting tool consist high tool wear rate because here one and only one cutting edge, and multi-point cutting tool, high material removal rate, MRR material removal rate, and productivity. It gives high material removal rate and productivity. These differences are we are taking on the basis of the main reason of these differences are in the multi-point cutting tool there are two or more than two cutting edges, but in the single point only one cutting edges. Here shorter tool life, reduced tool wear means the life of the multi-point cutting tool is more than compared to single point cutting tool. Higher cutting temperature, here it consists lower cutting temperature. Thermal damage is occur due to continuously physical contacting between one cutting edges to the workpiece, and due to the continuous physical contacting there is generation of heat, and due to the generation of heat there may be the chances of thermal damage at the tip of the single point cutting tool or at the nose radius of the single point cutting tool. Then overall thermal damage is decreases the overall to life overall to life of the single point cutting tool. But the generation of heat at the place between contact of multi-point cutting tool and the workpiece is much minimum, is much lower than the single point cutting tool, and due to this very thermal damage is occur because no more temperature is rising at the place of contact between them. Thus it improves overall tool life of multi-point cutting tool. uh, in the single point cutting tool there is this provides us low material removal rate, MRR, and this produce high material removal rate and productivity, or we can say that the rate of production is high in when we using multi-point cutting tool. On the other hand, the rate of production is slow when we use multi-point cutting tool. Low productivity, already discussed, like it affect our overall production rate. This is somehow costly than the single point cutting tool because in the manufacturing process the design of multi-point cutting tool is hard compared to the single point cutting tool because we have to group two or more than two cutting edge on the multi-point cutting tool. These are the some basic differences between multi-point cutting tool. In these two video we have discussed about all about single point cutting tool and the multi-point cutting tool, necessity of multi-point cutting tool, types of multi-point cutting tool. In this video we discuss about two types, drill bit and the milling cutter, various angle associated on the drill bits and the various angle associated on the milling cutter, and this is the overall differences between single point cutting tool and multi point cutting tool. Thank you. Thank you all.
Hello everyone. In this lecture, we will discuss about remaining three parts of metal forming process, which is forming, extrusion, and drawing. In the previous chapter, we have seen that various aspects of rolling process, advantage of rolling process, disadvantage of rolling process, and various limitations of rolling process. In this lecture, remaining three types of metal from forming process, we will discuss about. The first one is forging process. Forging is perhaps the oldest metal working process and was known even during prehistoric days when metallic tools were made by heating and hammering. We have seen that in many villages are going to that one person with their agricultural tool, and the man, he is hitting that tool and hammering for more effective and more performing in the cultivation process. Forging is basically involves plastic deformation of material between two dies to achieve desired configuration. Depending upon complexity of the part, forging is carried out open die forging and closed die forging. Basically, this is the two types of forging process. One is open die forging, and another is closed die forging. The open die forging and closed die forging is depend on how complex part we have to uh, making from forging process. In open die forging, the metal is compressed by repeated blows by a mechanical hammer and shape is manipulated manually. In the other hand, in closed die forging, the desired configuration is obtained by squeezing the workpiece between two shaped and closed dies. In the next slide, we will discuss with diagram. Here, this is representing open die forging and this is representing closed die forging. We have seen that in open die forging, outer part is open. Apart from in the closed die forging, here is a totally pack of work material between dies. Here are the component which is using in forging process: ram, die, workpiece, die, and anvil. Similarly, here die, blank, flash, and die. Here are some theoretical part regarding open die forging and closed die forging. On squeezing, the die cavity gets completely filled and excess material comes out around the periphery of the die as flash, which is later trimmed. Here, this point is talking about the extra material removed from here, from these small cavities, and after the forging process, if if any need a post machining process, then we trimmed extra part which is coming outside from the workpiece. Uh, Basically, this situation created in closed die forging. Now, the another is press forming process. Press forging or drop forging are also two popular method in the closed die forging. Basically, closed die forging divided into two groups. In further two groups, one is press forging and another is drop forging. In press forging, the metal is squeezed slowly by a hydraulic or mechanical press, and component is produced in a single closing of die. Hence, the dimension accuracy is much better than the drop forging. Because in the press forging, metal is squeezed slowly by the means of hydraulic force or by the means of mechanical press or by the means of mechanical force. Uh, and the component is producing in a single closing of die. Here the requirement of post machining process is very less, so we can say that no trimming of workpiece is required in press forming. Both open and closed die forging process are carried out in hot as well as in cold stage. In forging, favorable grain orientation of metal is obtained. Uh, Here we have already seen that this represent open die forging and this is for closed die forging. Now the extrusion process. Extrusion is a relatively new process and its commercial exploitation started early in the 19th century with the extrusion of leads pipe. Extrusion of steels became possible only after 1930 when extrusion chambers could be designed to withstand high temperature and pressure. In extrusion process, the material is compressed in a chamber and the deformed material is forced to flow through a die. The die opening correspond to the cross section of the required product. It is basically a hot working process. However, for softer material, cold extrusion is performed. Here, from the diagram we can better understand. This is the RAM. This is billets mean uh, viscous material, and this is the overall configuration of extrusion process. Now here is placement of dies, and the outer workpiece, the outer diameter of workpiece is only depend on the die which is placed here. So we can say that what's our basic requirements, or what we have to make, means how much diameter we have to needed, or how much width, length we have to needed. Thus on the basis of these requirements, we place die at the outer side of the uh, overall arrangement, and after pulling the force with the help of ram, the material or the viscous material comes out from this die, designing with our required diameter. We have already discussed that it is very convenient with the using of hot material, and some for some software material we can use in cold process also. Here this one is represent for direct extrusion, and this one is indirect extrusion. The main difference is between direct extrusion and indirect extrusion is uh, the direction of flow of the material. We can see that in the direct extrusion, the ram is applying in the direction of output of our desired shape. But in the indirect extrusion, we can see that the ram is pulling in the opposite direction of obtaining diameter of workpiece, because the die and the position of die and the position of ram is associated only one side in the indirect extrusion, and the other side is totally packed. This is the difference between direct extrusion and the indirect extrusion. Here, one type of extrusion is hydrostatic extrusion. The difference between the overall arrangement is similar to the direct extrusion. Here, this position for ram, and this is billets. Here, some fluids are filled, which is helpful for the applying force on billets. Thus, our process is much smooth respect of direct extrusion. So it is by the using of fluid in the this section, this is known as hydrostatic extrusion. Now the third one process is the drawing process. If we have to produce large quantities of wires, rods, tubes, and other sections, then we are going with drawing process, which is basically a cold working process. In this process, the material is pulled through a die in order to reduce it to the desired shape and size. The material is pulling from the die. We have seen that in extrusion process, one ram is using here or outer side of the arrangement, and we applying the total force on the ram for extrude the material from die or from that cavity. But in the if you're talking about drawing process, then the pulling of that required material is necessary with help of any servo motors from these die, because die is placing or die is always placed at the outer side of the overall arrangement. uh, from drawing process we can make long tubes, long wires. It is very convenient to produce long tube and long wires. In a typical wire drawing operation, one end of the wire is reduced and passes through the opening of the die, gripped and pulled to reduce its diameter. Sometimes we are using this process for reducing diameter of wires. Here the overall arrangement you are seeing in this slide for the drawing process. Here the wire rolls, the diameter of this wire If you compare the diameter of this wire with this wire, then this wire has less diameter compared to this wire, because this is the raw material for this process. This is the raw material for this extrusion drawing process. Here we are seeing that the wire roll is associated with one die, and the draw black is pulling wire from the wire roll directly, and the one's diameter is decreased here. Means if this diameter has 6 diameter, then probably it reduced to diameter, and this is the wire with diameter of 4 Then the where you use a sleeve wheel uh, for going smoothly, and another die used for reducing again the diameter of that wire. Means here the raw material or the input of the diameter of this wire is 4 and our require is overall 2 Then we place another die with the diameter, with the opening diameter of 2 then the pulling this from this die, and the wire is bending in the finish draw block. We can say that we are reduced diameter from 6 to 2 it is very convenient. We have already discussed that it is very convenient for uh, wires or tubes. Here the another type of drawing is two type is drawing process. One is wire drawing process, which is suitable for production of wires, and the another is tube drawing process, which is suitable for production of tubes. Tube drawing is also similar to the wire drawing, except the mandrel of appropriate diameter is required to form the internal hole. In the wire drawing process, we have seen that we using the die of only uh, we require the diameter as per our required diameter of the wire. But in the tube drawing process, we use hollow die for producing internal hole in the pipes. Here are the two arrangement you are seeing in the slide. One is floating plug, and second one is moving mandrel. This process is also using for reducing the diameter and thickness of the tube. These are the various defects in the drawing process. First one is wrinkling in the flange. Second one is wrinkling in the on the wall. Third one is tearing. Fourth one is earring, and fifth one is surface scratches. These defects are common in the drawing process. Here are the some description of the defects which is occurring during the drawing process, like rinking and buckling is avoided by applying a blank holder force through a blank holder. This is the appropriate method to reduce the various error in the drawing process. A blank holder force increases friction and hence the required punch load. The edges of the punch and dies are rounded for the easy and smooth flow of metal. Sufficient clearance is also provided so that sheet metal could be easily accommodated. Insufficient or large clearance may result into shearing and tearing of the sheet. These are the some methods which reduce the occurring error in the drawing process. Now here are the comparison of various metal forming process with advantage and with various advantages and limitations. Like if you are talking about forging process, we are saying that there are two type of forging process. One is open die forging and another is closed die forging. These are the various advantages, like expensive tooling and equipment in the open die forging, simple to operate, wide range of workpiece sizes can be used, suitable for low production rate. These are the limitations of open die forging, can be used for simple shape only, fairly skilled operations are required, production rate is low, dimensional accuracy and surface finish achieved are poor or poorer. finishing required for achieving final shape means we have to trim that object after open die forging. Then advantages of closed die forging is suitable for high production rate, can be used for production of complex shape, good dimension accuracy and reproducibility. Here are the limitations of closed die forging: high equipment and tooling cost, appropriate die set for production of each component, more than one step required for each forging. These are the some limitations of closed die forging. Here are the advantages and limitations of hot rolling. We have seen in the previous chapter. We have also seen in the previous chapter the various advantages and limitations of the cold rolling. Uh, these are the advantages of hot extrusion process. Moderate cost of equipment and tooling, suitable for large reduction and complex section and long products can be produced. Limitations of hot extrusion process is only constant cross section can be produced. This is the main limitation of hot extrusion process. Components with thin walls are difficult to produce. Lubrication is always necessary in hot extrusion process. Dimensional accuracy and finish achieved are not good. Means the post machining process or trimming process is also necessary in the hot extrusion process. Here are the some advantages of impact extrusion, like high production rate, good finish and dimensional accuracy. Generally, no finishing is required in the impact extrusion. It is suitable for production of thin section also. The Here are some limitations of impact extrusion, like suitable for production of large component from softer material only, a deformation limited to a small reduction. Then the advantages and disadvantages or limitations of drawing process, like advantage of drawing process is low equipment and tooling cost, good surface finish dimensional accuracy, high production rate, long length of rounds tubing, and here are limitations of drying process: deformation limited to a small reductions, production of constant cross section only, lubrication is always necessary in drawing process. Here the one type of drawing process, deep drawing, with advantages like high production rate, moderate equipment and tooling cost, good surface finish. And the limitations of deep drawing is limited to forming of thin sheets, forming of shallow or deep parts of simple shape only, and in this post machining process is also required. Now these are the various defects occurs in commonly occurs in the forging process, like block forging, begin forging, wave buckles, lapse in finished forging, forging begin, die cavities are being filled, crack develop ribs, and crack propagate through ribs. These are the defects in the forging process. Here are the three defects which are commonly occurring in the extrusion process. One is surface cracking, second is piping, and third is internal cracking of the finished goods. Now, on the basis of these three types of metal forming process, we are here for solve some multiple choice questions. Like forming is a process. First one is forming is a process that changes the shape of the metal by changing its phase. Uh, Basically, question is asking this statement is true or false. We have seen that forming is a process that changes the shape of the metal by changing its shape, not its phase. Here, phase changing means liquid to solid, solid to gas. But in the metal forming process, we can see that from billets to uh, sheets, and from balloons to wire, from balloons to rods, then this statement is false, because Forming is a process that changes the shape of the metal by changing its shape, not phase. Here are the description of multiple choice questions. The another one question is which of the following component is mainly manufactured by the performing metal forging? We have seen that the forging process in which we are using open die or closed die by applying the mechanical force or hydraulic force, or we can say that hammering is necessary in the forging process. Then this question is asking about which type of there are various components of engine, and question is asking about which component is manufactured by metal forging process. Then the connecting rod is uh, manufacturing from the forging process. Here are the description, like connecting rods it is mainly manufactured by the forging operation, which is specifically known as hot forging process, while parts like piston, crankcase, and engine blocks are manufactured by the casting process. The third one, multiple choice question is the metal forging operation can only be performed by the manual means. No, it is not only performed by the manual means. It is a forming operation which usually perform hammering process to shape the metal part, because we were seeing that in the forging process either we use open die or either we use closed die, followed by the mechanical force or the hydraulic force. Here another multiple choice question is, the question is which of the following metal forming process performs squeezing out of material through a hole? We are seeing that uh, in the extrusion process, the material coming the material coming after squeezing of the raw material or squeezing of the viscous material after applying the force from the ram. But in the other hand, in the forging process, we use hammering or mechanical force or hydraulic force. In the rolling process, we use rolls, and in drawing process, uh, apart from squeezing, we are using pulled out the wire and tubes in the drawing process. Then our option is extrusion process. We are going with extrusion process. Now the next multiple choice question is metal forming process is a process in which the metal is deformed plastically to get into desired shape. This statement is true because in the metal forming process, we change the shape from the we change the shape from another shape to another shape. Plastically changes we shape, because after the changing of its shape, mm, this is not retaining its our original shape. We are knowing that the deformation occurs two types. One is plastically and one is elastically. In the elastically deformation, uh, if we deform the shape and leave it, then it's come to its original shape. This is known as elastically deformed. And for the plastically deformed, if we change the shape of any material, then it can't be retain its original shape. And then this statement is true. Next question is which of the following process is not the type of bulk forming process in the metal forming? Here we have seen that the rolling process, the forging process, the extrusion process, and the drawing process is used for bulk forming of the substance. Then the answer is bending. Bending is not suitable process for forming bulk material. Next question is which of the following manufacturing process is mainly considered for producing the component of very high strength? If you're talking about strength, then uh, casting process simple. We cast the component into die. Forging process we use hammers. Either we use in closed die forging, either we are using in open die forging. Extrusion process, we simply squeeze the material with the help of applying force on ram. And in the rolling process, there are two rolls, three rolls, or four rolls, which is transform materials into sheets. Here we can see that apart from these three processes, only forging process which is used the force. This force is either mechanical force or it would be a hydraulic force. Thus, we can see that forging is a deformation process in which the material we are producing with very high strength. The another multiple choice question is, which of the following metal forming process is best suitable for making the wires? We have seen in the previous slide that wires and tubes are making from only drawing process. Here are the explanation of the above question. Now, this is the overall form three types of metal forming process, like extrusion process, forging process, and drawing process. We have seen that advantages, disadvantages, limitations, and applications of these three processes. And on the basis of this class, we will solve 8 multiple choice question, which is generally asking in the interview section. In the next chapter, uh, we will discuss about various types of modern manufacturing system. Thank you. Thank you.